How many times have you started a new workout plan with the best intentions only to fail? How many times have you rushed into action with all the power and inspiration of an ancient Greek athlete, breezing through the first couple workouts like it was nothing, only to lose your enthusiasm just as fast? How many times have you embraced that momentum, suddenly feeling more alive than you have in years, maybe even bearing that pain for the first few days with pride, only to get to a point weeks or months later where you just threw in the cards? Or maybe something more pressing, like a work obligation or even an injury, interrupted your pattern, and you never get back on course. So how do you find the motivation to work out? If you're like most well-intentioned people on this planet, this predictable sequence of events has happened not only once but many times over. And no matter how much willpower you conjure up to return with a vengeance, you just can't make the habit of working out stick. So how do you not only create the motivation to work out but make that new motivation stick for the long run? To make it into far more than a fad, a lifetime endeavor? I want to introduce you to a method of workout motivation that's so simple it's nearly foolproof. You may even slap yourself in the noggin for not having thought about it yourself. But before we get into that, let's have a look at the hidden power of physical fitness in modern-day life, because deciding right now that fitness will be a part of your life forever becomes much easier when you realize the powerful leverage it brings to your reality. Successful people don't become that way because they are special or somehow gifted. Sure, some direct energy into areas where they show a bit of potential, but there are countless Mozarts, Einsteins, Michael Jordans, and Stephen Kings in the world who never become anything because they never used the power of habits to orchestrate their life. Successful people become that way because they ingrain in themselves habits that lead to success. Habits always win. They take time to develop, but once they are there, you don't have to think about them. For instance, you don't have to think about how to tie your shoes every morning, or how to brush your teeth. Are there any other tasks you've performed in your life that seemed complicated at first and then became like a second nature to you? I'd be willing to bet the answer is yes. Your body, your brain, and your subconscious are built to take tasks and make them habitual. And if you learn to create the right habits and set them in motion, the type of habits that lead to success, the end result is a successful life. It almost becomes inevitable. Now imagine if you chose the most life-transforming habits and made those automated routines in your life. If you think about it, this power of organizing and automating life not only applies to humans but all of nature. The seasons come and go in the same exact order every time, and it's this natural law that makes it possible for plants to work their magic each and every year. The sun rises and sets at roughly the same time each day, and the days begin to shorten at the same time every year. A certain type of seed always sprouts the same type of tree. It doesn't decide one day to sprout a tomato plant. All of nature exists and functions via the power of habits, and if these powers were thrown off kilter even just a bit, life as we know it would cease to exist. Thus it becomes clear that you gain far more power in your life not by focusing on losing that 30 pounds you've been carrying around for too long or getting that six-pack you've always wanted, but rather by focusing mainly on the building of a habit, all else be damned. Perhaps you've heard of the concept of a keystone habit before. Essentially, there are certain habits that, once developed in your life, not only affect one part of your life but become the foundation of many other good habits, as if our habits are a web. In essence, these keystone habits have the potential of creating a snowball effect that can radically transform your experience on Earth. And fitness is one of the most obvious keystone habits out there. Let's break it down. You already know that fitness will make you stronger, give you more energy, help fight disease, and make you a more emotionally satisfied person. The instant health benefits of working out on a regular basis alone are life-transforming and reason enough to make working out a priority. But beyond that are the less obvious effects that stem from physical fitness. As an example, have you ever noticed that when you start working out you start eating better without effort, even if it wasn't part of your immediate plan? Working out also often makes you more productive and gives you extra energy, which can lead to more success at work and thus better control over your finances, which can affect every area of your life. We could go on and on all day about little things like this that all stem from the basic decision to get a minimal dose of physical exertion every day. This is the very definition of a keystone habit and why getting control over the motivation to exercise can be a paramount decision that radically transforms your life starting now.